So what exactly is clean eating anyway? It's a mindset and it's a lifestyle and it's the way that we humans were meant to eat. Nobody else is in charge of your nutrition. You are the only one who gets to decide what you put into your mouth, what you do with your body day in and day out. And all those little decisions that you make every day, whether to choose the donut in the break room or to pack your own healthy snack, whether to set your alarm clock the night before and wake up early to exercise or sleep in and keep hitting that snooze button. Those are your little decisions that you get to make every single day. And it's your duty to take care of your body because you only get one. And so treating it with respect and treating it kindly is the only way to go. Basically, you are what you eat, and you're deciding one choice at a time who you're going to be tomorrow, next week, and many years down the line. And you're also inspiring or influencing others around you as well with the choices that you make every day, whether you know it or not. Our bodies were made to give us cues about hunger throughout our day. But somewhere between childhood and adulthood, sometimes we forget to listen to those cues, or we just don't have the ability to understand that that's what those cues are telling us anymore. But if you think about your body as a machine requires fuel to work, and your body requires food just as much as your machine requires fuel. If you were to give your car oil or gasoline of really low quality, your car would not work as well. And that same analogy can apply to your body. If you're feeding it chips and cookies and popcorn, processed sugar, Twinkies, and your body is not going to work as well as if you were to feed it with lean proteins and complex carbohydrates and tons of vegetables and keeping your diet colorful. If you were to imagine for a moment all the food that you put into your body in a day laid out on a table in front of you, what would it look like? Would it be colorful? Would it have all of the macronutrients, fats, proteins, carbohydrates, fruits mixed in throughout your day? Or would it be very sparse on any of those macronutrients? Or would it just be sparse in general? A lot of people are just not eating enough. The majority of my clients that I work with, overeating is not their problem. Undereating and then making poor choices because they're so hungry is the majority of their problem. 80% of your body's makeup comes from nutrition. 10% comes from training and 10% from genetics. The majority of your physique, your body, is affected by the foods that you eat. You could work out all day long, every day, but if you were eating crap or just not eating enough, your body is not going to change. It's not going to be its best version of itself. No amount of exercise will reshape your body unless you're eating properly. Imagine your food as a mirror of you and you as a mirror of your food. So what is clean eating? It's simple. It's not necessarily easy, but it's very simple. It does require preparation, and that's the part that's not easy. But most likely, even if you are the busiest person on the world and on the earth, you have an hour to 2 hours to set aside out of your week to prep food for the next few days. You have to make that a priority. So what is clean eating? There are basically two guidelines. Number one, the food came from the earth. It grew in the ground, vegetables, fruits, beans, nuts, seeds, and whole grains. Or it had a mother, meat, fish, poultry, eggs. So it's either that, that's the first thing. And the second thing is, if the food has a printed label, you should easily be able to identify what goes in that ingredient list. It should be unprocessed, which means not chemically or physically altered, and it should be in its most natural state, as opposed to human-made. The general principles of clean eating. You want to eat small meals frequently throughout the day. So 5 or 6 small meals, going for 200 to 500 calories at each meal, and you're eating every 2.5 to 3 hours. And what this does is it helps to stabilize your blood sugar throughout your day and minimize hunger. You should never be hungry while clean eating. Your body should always have fuel available to it because you are constantly in a state of either just getting ready to eat, just have eaten, have finished your meal, you have a little break, and then it's time to eat again. And those small meals are comprised of lean proteins, complex carbohydrates, and healthy fats. Vegetables come in throughout the day in abundance. The second most important thing as a guideline for clean eating is just be prepared. Take time out of your schedule to prep your food for the next few days ahead of you. Get them put into Tupperwares, put them in your fridge. When you get up the next morning, you're ready to go. You grab your cooler and you grab your 3 or 4 Tupperware and you're out the door and you're set up for success. When you have healthy food cooked and ready, it's easy to eat healthy. Otherwise, you are stuck in that decision of, what am I going to eat? Maybe I shouldn't eat. I'll just skip this meal. Hopefully the restaurant has something that I like. Maybe I can run to Starbucks and they'll have an oatmeal or a sandwich and I'll just cross my fingers that it's good for me. Take the guesswork out of it and do your work ahead of time. Prep your food. Avoid processed foods, including white flour and sugar. What happens with simple carbohydrates like those is they spike your insulin level, and then that leads to crashing later, which then leads to cravings and binging after that. So it's just a vicious cycle. Stay out of it by eliminating and avoiding processed foods, such as bread, white bread, cookies, chips, crackers, soda, juice, ice cream, most common junk foods. Portion sizes. Most women are going to go for about a 4-ounce serving size of protein, which is also about the size of your fist, and same for your carbohydrates at your meals. Vegetables can come in abundance, and fats 2 to 4 tablespoons throughout your day. Eat tons of vegetables, whole grains, lean meats, complex carbohydrates. And treat yourself. Remember, this is a lifestyle approach. If you feel constantly deprived of something that you love, most likely you will end up binging on it later because you feel like you were deprived from it. If dark chocolate is your thing, work it into your plan. But just be aware of what those treats here and there do to your overall big picture. I recommend tracking your nutrition using an app like MyFitnessPal. When you get into the habit of doing that, you become aware, you become empowered with the information of knowing what a certain food is, whether it's a carbohydrate, a fat, or a protein. There are lots and lots of misconceptions over that. I hear all the time, oh, I get my protein from peanut butter. Well, peanut butter does have protein in it, but it is mostly a source of fat. So when you enter that into MyFitnessPal, it will spike your fat intake for the day. And fats are good. We need fats. But if you're like me, I could open up a jar and eat half of it before I even know the time has passed. I love it so much, but I have to watch my portion sizes. That does make a big, big difference. So be sure to not treat this as a diet. If there are things that you love, work them in. Make yourself feel like you're not being deprived. But do it in moderation and do it smartly. Know what those foods are doing to your body. When you go to the grocery store, have a list, have a plan, shop the outside aisles. That's where you'll find all of the fresh produce, the deli, the meats, the grains. The only things on the inside aisles should include oatmeal, canned tuna, and other boxed and jarred items like beans and ground flax meal and that kind of thing. Try not to go grocery shopping hungry. That's always a big mistake. There are lots of kitchen supplies that I would recommend that will help you on your journey to clean eating. And I will share my Amazon store with you so that you can see all of those. But mainly, just remember, you are in charge of your decisions. So make the decision to have time to prep your food, make the decision to move your body, and make the decision to drink your water and eat your clean meals, 5 or 6 small meals throughout your day. And that's how you will set yourself up for success. And before you know it, these will become habits that you can continue for the rest of your life. And along the way, you will also be inspiring other people to make similar changes and improvements in their diet. Happy clean eating.